Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me, Morrissey America, playing on the Korean version of Dragon Blaze, and I'm trying to make this simple video explaining how you can get SSS Allies both in the Korean Dragon Blaze and global Dragon Blaze. Now, I'll state this. Before I start saying anything, there will be a huge gap in how easy it is to get a SSS in the Korean version of Dragon Blaze compared to global. Don't be so discouraged and don't be so down though. When it comes to global, they will eventually get all of the things that the Korean Dragon Blaze have. Like, they will eventually have in the same login sheet, they will eventually have the Caledon event, they will have almost a bunch of... Global will eventually catch up, that's what I'm trying to say. But, I will just be talking about the ways to get the SSS in both versions, and most likely the Korean Dragon Blaze is far superior. Now, if you don't have the patience to wait for all of this update and you actually want to get into the bandwagon and just join into the Korean Dragon Blaze and enjoy the Dragon Blaze gloriness and addictionness, then definitely download the Korean Dragon Blaze. I've made a video on how to download it. It will be at the very end of this video, definitely check that out if you haven't. But if you're an iOS user, I can't exactly help you there because I don't have an iOS and I don't know how to exactly work it. Hopefully someone in the comments might give me a shout out and say if they have a video explaining it. I know that the person that's doing the Korean Dragon Blaze vlog personally wrote down how they got it on their iOS, or a way to get it on their iOS, so check them out. But yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's just that global will get this, give it a long while. But anyways, let me just get started. Most of the points I will be covering, you can do in global. There's only one thing that you can't do in global, and it's the Caledon event. Now, I've already talked about how this event, how you can fill up this event and what you can do with it. But let me just recap on this because this is the thing that global does not have. But we will get this eventually. I don't know when, but we'll get it eventually. Now, the Caledon event, the pig event, is very useful. Now, you have to fill this up by killing a bunch of stuff in both fight mode and story mode. Story mode is going to be easier to fill up if you're still new to the game, or if you do a bunch of farming, that's going to fill up. But there's also one for fight mode as well, let me bring that up too. But yeah, there's a red and purple one. The purple one's in fight mode. This is if you're more PvP type, you do a bunch of guild battles, arena, fortress battle, maybe Revenge of Belphegor, tag arena, guild wars. But yeah, going back on topic, I was thinking that someone was calling me. But yeah, the Caledon event, as you can see here, if you pop up the rewards for both of them, they will be the same. But the biggest thing is, when it comes to the Caledon event, you definitely want to beat all 3 stages and get the gold chest. Because the gold chest has a chance to drop SSS jewels and allies. And you have a chance of maybe pulling all 7 of them as SSS fodder. Now, it depends on RNG. I don't think anyone was able to, well, maybe someone has been able to pull 7 SSS allies, but usually you could get like 4 SSS allies out of the 7 rewards, maybe 2 or maybe even 1, but just getting a bunch of SSS allies from this is very helpful. And you can do this for, like I said, fight mode and story mode. The only thing is, it's account locked, so if you do fill it up, you can only run it once with one of your characters on your account, and then you had to start over and refill that thing up. But that's the only difference when it comes to acquiring SSS allies on the Korean and global Dragon Blaze, that the Caledon event is really, it's a huge umph. Now, it all depends on RNG though, because it's not 100% guaranteed you'll get a SSS ally. Sometimes you don't pull a SSS ally. I did pull a couple of SSS ally in my latest runs, not when I was streaming. But yeah, that's the Caledon event. But all of the other points I'll be talking about right now, you can also do in global, like the login attendance sheet. Now, you definitely want to log in every day for both the Korean Dragon Blaze and the Global Dragon Blaze, because at the very end you'll get SSS Allies, as long as you log in. But here's the thing, if you don't know where the login sheet is on both Global and the Korean Dragon Blaze, it's on the left hand side in the lobby area of whatever chapter you're in. You get to see this brown sheet of paper over here, click on that. When you click on that, it's going to bring you to this little menu here. Now, I'll state this right off the bat. When it comes to the 28 days reward, login reward for Global, you get 2 SSS Allies. Now, thinking about it in this sense, 2 SSS Allies is better than nothing, or it's better than 1 SSS Ally. But compared to the Korean version of Dragon Blaze, on the 28th day, they get a choice of getting 5 SSS Ally or a deified ally. The deified ally being one of the Bodens, Septon Archangela, or Dracos. Hopefully I'm right about that. If I'm wrong, definitely put it in the comments below. But yeah, essentially getting a deified ally is equivalent to 5 SSS Ally, because you know, it takes 5 SSS Ally to limit break a certain character, SSS character class, so you can get the specific deified ally you need. But yeah, this does not include Titans, I think. I might be wrong about that. I have no clue, but most likely I'll be selecting that when it hits 28 days. But yeah, you can either get 5 SSS Ally or a deified ally. And that's a lot compared to 2 SSS Allies. Now, here's the thing. Global will eventually get this, so do not be discouraged, just be patient, and like I said, if you don't have the patience for this, definitely join the Korean Dragon Blaze. The only issue is, half the time you won't be able to read half of the text, and you might be pressing the wrong buttons and spending your rubies here and there when you didn't want to spend it, so yeah. And the thing is, if you are playing the global version of Dragon Blaze, you have a lot more control and time to get ready for all of this stuff. But going back on topic, login events. Now, I know on the first week in Global Dragon Blaze, your reward is on the 7th day, it's a SSS Ally. Now over here in the Korean Blaze, your first reward is actually 2 SSS Allies compared to a SS. That's something. It's a huge difference between a SS. But this will actually, these 2 weeks might actually play a key role later on. Now, here's the thing. Don't get too carried away by this attendance sheet. I don't remember what's the first time rewards for new players in the Korean Dragon Blaze, because it's completely different from this, if I remember correctly. If I do make a new account, I'll make a video talking about the first time rewards for new players, but for now, yeah. It's just that I'm talking about like the overall monthly login sheets for both global and the Korean version, not the first time rewards when it comes to players getting into the game. But yeah, I think the first time rewards for players getting into the game in the Korean version is still better than first time rewards that Global is giving out. Now, Global will eventually change that, don't worry. I'm stressing this out heavily, but yeah, let's say, yeah, I'll just state this bluntly. When it comes to getting a bunch of SSS for the login sheets, compared to Global I think gets 3 to 4 SSS Allies. I don't remember the exact number. I don't remember what's the 3rd login week for Global. I think it was another SS, which is kind of silly because, you know, it should be a SSS. But yeah, I think they get around 3 or maybe 4 if I'm wrong about the 3rd week. SSS Allies in a week, but compared to Global Dragon Blaze, they get around 6 SSS Allies, and it's only 6 SSS Allies if they decide to get this. Now, technically, it's only going to be 6 SSS Ally and a deified ally if they choose this. But yeah, that's a lot. That's like 3 times the amount that Global is able to offer. But here's the thing about the 3rd week. The 3rd week, the 2 SSS tickets, the 2 SSS Ally tickets, they're hero selects. And if you don't know what a hero select ticket is, it's when you can choose a specific hero type like Tanuvian, Teal, any one of the awakened character, any one of the characters that can be potentially awakened. So Teal, Tanuvian, not Margaret, Mercedes, Chevelle, Belle Snow, Wei, Vante, all of those characters. Whoever is used to make a Dark Soul key, those are the hero selects. And this is very useful. So let me bring up a scenario. So let's say on the first week, you got a Belle Snow. And now all you need is Vante and Wei to try to make Sasha. Now on the second week, you didn't get Wei or Vante. But on the third week, you can immediately get those two hero allies because it's a select ticket. There's no way you can ignore that unless you do plan to ignore it, but yeah. And that's gonna help you speed up your process of getting your Sasha key. Because you don't need to do it with RNG. You will get 100% guarantee you could get Vante and Wei, unless you chose someone else that's not Vante and Wei. But yeah, overall, the login sheet for the Korean Dragon Blaze gives at least 11 SSS Ally if you don't choose the deified one, compared to the global, which only gives 3 to 4. And in the past, I've just been logging in, and that's why I was able to kind of rush in ultimating my Sasha key when I started becoming active in the Korean Dragon Blaze again, just because I was logging in. Now, tying in with the login sheet, I will bring this up. That weekly battle mission we have in Global, if you go to fight mode, there should be a green button here, and if you click it, it's gonna tell you what you need to do for the week, and then you get a SS ally for that. Yeah, the weekly mission is still here in the Korean Dragon Blaze. If you don't know how to locate it, you can click on the quest tab here, click on this red tab up top, and then it's gonna bring you here. Now, basically, it's the same thing. You need to do arena, all the world bosses, do guild adventures. This one is telling you to do the Nightmare Tower, and I'll state this. This is optional. You don't need to do this, and you have to be max level to even get into the place. But even if you're max level, I'll advise you not to run it unless you have a full ultimate or max out Transcended Party team. Ultimate Key Party and Transcended Party and best top-notch gear and ultimate gems and X, Y, and Z, ultimate accessories and stuff. Don't run this unless you're really, really up there and you're prepared to run it, because I've heard stories about it and it sounds like it's gonna rape you if you're not ready for it. But yeah, other than that, guild battles, arenas, tag arena, guild adventures, I think guild wars as well is part of them now. But if you do all of these other things, once you complete it, you get a SSS ally. A SSS ally compared to a SS in global. That's something. And this is weekly too, so it refreshes every week. So not only are you logging in every week to get 2 SSS allies, you're also getting another SSS ally from the weekly missions. So essentially, combining this mission as well, you are getting at least, if you decide to choose the 5 SSS allies as well, you're getting at least 15 SSS allies in a month. 15 SSS allies in a month. Now, a month is a long time. Now, this doesn't take account of all of the farming you did with your allies. Yeah, farming you did with your allies. I mean, farming you did in general so you can get a bunch of ally fodder, which you can then enhance your SS ally, then combine those SS's to make a bunch of SSS's. And then this also doesn't count the tower validation. Now, since I'm bringing these two up, definitely run Tower of Validation. If you haven't run it, start running it and slowly progress through the floors. If you're stuck on a floor, start improving your team, enhance your keys, ultimate your keys, give better equipment, start maxing out your skills if you haven't, start unlocking accessory slots. Just progress and improve, because every time you progress into Tower of Validation, you get rewards. Now, I'm stuck on Llewellyn because apparently she can one-shot my entire damn team still. Like, she instant kills my team. So I need to figure out a way around her, because I really don't want another SSS ally. I want more essences, but yeah. Like, there's a lot of rewards, as you can see here. just by progressing through Tower Validation. So always do them, both the Buster mode and the Hero mode. And the only difference to the Global Dragon Blaze and the Korean Dragon Blaze when it comes to Tower Validation is the floor. Tower Validation, the Korean Dragon Blaze, they're at 100 now. In Global, they're at 80. Eventually, it'll be increased. But yeah, Tower Validation, do it. And then lastly, my last point will be the fact that you want to combine double S's. Now, I just remembered I actually used my 2 double S examples in my last video that didn't went well, so somewhere on, well, I would say somewhere on the screen, most likely at the end of this video, I'll have a link taking you to one of my combining video sessions that explains and literally shows you guys how you can do it. All you need to do is use the A, B, C allies. Most of the time you want to use A, B's, and C's. You could use double S's and S allies, but that's at your discretion. Most veteran players, most people who are playing Dragon Blaze would say don't do that, because double S's you definitely need double S's so you can actually combine them into triple S's, and then most of the time people would use S allies to improve some of their triple S allies. But if you don't have anything else to do with those allies, technically you could feed your double S's, double S allies, and S allies. It's at your call though. Usually it's A, B's, and C's. Now, usually you get A, B's, and C's allied just by running storyline, and if there's a drop buff, that also helps out as well. If you have a lot of friend points, definitely use that as well. If you're doing 1+1 summons especially, you can use the A allies in helping you A and S allies in, like, you know, maxing out the double S allies. But that's pretty much it for this video, so let me do a recap and then I'll end this. Most likely I'm not gonna edit this actually, but that's pretty good for me. But yeah, let me do a recap. So first thing is that only the Korean Dragon Blaze has this, but if you want more triple S allies and you want to deal with RNG, doing the Caledon event will help you, because there is a chance once you get the gold chest for you to get triple S allies. Now it's not going to be high unless your RNG is really good and luck is on your side. But yeah, doing Caledon event could help you with the increase of triple S allies you get. It's not a guarantee though. You're gambling, and you're gambling with RNG. Now, for the remaining pointers, it's going to be stuff that you can do both in Global and the Korean version of Dragon Blaze. Just make sure for both versions of the game, you log in. It doesn't matter if you're gonna farm or not, just make sure you get into the game, get your rewards, get that stamp approval, then get out. Because you definitely want to try to get as much resources as you can so you can try to farm or try to do whatever you need to do. And at the very end of it, you're going to get triple S allies no matter what. Moving on, point number 3, do Tower of Validation. Tower of Validation will help you improve and help you give a lot of items to you. Get a bunch of essences, a bunch of triple S allies, a bunch of fodder materials so you can feed your allies, a bunch of shoes, a bunch of money, a bunch of tickets, a bunch of stuff so you can progress through the game and level up and just get a bunch of experience and get your character max level or your allies to max level. Do Tower of Validation. 4th pointer, do the weekly mission. Even in Global, even though there's not a huge benefit to it, getting a double S ally might help you just, you know, increase the number of double S allies you have so you can max them out, and then when you combine them you can get a triple S ally. But for both of them, make sure you do your weekly battle missions, especially in the Korean Dragon Blaze, because the rewards for doing that is a triple S ally. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Lastly, hopefully I am covering everything still. Lastly, you always want to feed your double S allies. If you max out your cap here, stop farming and definitely feed your double S's. You don't want to be stuck farming with a max amount of allies in your inventory. That's a waste. Make sure you feed your double S's, and then when you have a good amount of double S's, you could combine, get a bunch of triple S's out of it. But that should be it. That's all the tips I can give out on getting SSS Allies. Now, I highly advise people not to do summons if there's no 1+1 event, because that's a huge waste. During a 1+1 event, you might be spending 1,200 rubies just so you can get your SSS ally, but with a 1+1 event summons, you can get 2 of it, and you can justify the means and say that's worth the cost of the rubies instead of getting 1 SSS ally. Like, hopefully I'm making sense, but yeah. If you spend 1,200 rubies, you want to get 2 SSS's, not 1. So 1+1 event summons, definitely going to help you out with that. Unless you don't want to spend your rubies, then you might want to avoid it. But do not do a 1+1 summons if there's no... I mean, do not do a platinum summon if there's no 1+1 event. You're just basically kind of ruining it. And if you don't feel like doing a 1+1 event summons, always farm. Because, you know, if you burn a bunch of shoes, it only costs 40 rubies to get 100 shoes. You can essentially farm for a lot of stuff with 100 shoes. You could get a bunch of essences with 100 shoes. You can get a bunch of ally drops with 100 shoes. You can get a lot of gold with 100 shoes. Tickets, skill cards, materials so you can feed your equipment and stuff. It's just that, depending on how you want to go at it with the ruby spending, 1+1 event summons could help you get a lot of SSS allies. But that's at your own discretion and it's your own call. Because it's your rubies, and do whatever you want with your rubies. I spend a good amount of them on the 1+1 event, and I have a bunch of SSS allies, and I don't regret it. But now I need a bunch of essences, so pretty much that's it. Hopefully this video helps you guys. It's a very long video. I apologize for it. But thank you guys for watching. And if you have any questions or concerns, definitely put it in the comments below. Or if you want to tell me about your latest achievements, go ahead and do that as well. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.